up until and through the war, here in Hawaii, society was vertically structured, with the haoles on top, everybody else strung out, and the step ladder below. At some rung, Japanese are somewhere over here. And they all grew up to know their place. They had a place, and society put them in their place, and they knew it.
The English Standard School system smacked of segregation, but it wasn't a true segregation system. It was not the brutal system of racial segregation that occurred in the Jim Crow South, but some of the impulses which drove it were the same. It was driven by the theory and practice of white supremacy. Period.
The attack from the air on the 7th of December was shocking and traumatic, and everyone was waiting for the next step. And the next step was going to be a Japanese fleet would arrive with landing craft and attack across the beaches and conquer Hawaii.
One of the proposals was to move all of the 159,000 people to the island of Molokai, one island, so that it would be easier to guard. Until somebody smart enough said, wait a minute, what if the Japs invade? Where's the first place they're going to go? They're going to go to Molokai, and they're going to liberate 159,000 really pissed off Japanese to form part of the invading party. Maybe that's not such a good idea.
Most of the Niseis were locked up behind barbed wire. I mean, even me, if I were in that situation, I wonder whether I would have volunteered. I don't know. Over here, yeah, geez, where's the pen? There was no question that we were volunteering because we weren't imprisoned like the ones on the mainland. Yeah, there was no question in any Nisei's heart and mind who he was and where his loyalty lay. No question at all.
The Nisei adopted the nickname One Puka Puka for the 100th Battalion, as Puka stands for whole in Hawaiian. They trained as infantry, but hidden within their ranks was a treasure the Army was desperately looking for, men who could translate and interpret Japanese, like Kazuo Yamane.
Because Yamane was a kibe, because he'd studied at a Japanese university, he had the rare skill of being able to recognize the different types of printed materials that might show up. I mean, he'd lived in Japan for 5 years and had studied in Japan, so he had a familiarity with Japanese printed material that the average American Nisei wasn't even close. One day, Mr. Yamane opened a crate of captured documents. It had been shipped all the way to Camp Ritchie, marked no military value. He opened up the crate, reached into the documents, and he found one document that had kind of a tattered cover, and it looked nondescript. And he opened it up and was surprised to see it was published minutes of a meeting that had been held in the spring of 1944 among all the key leaders of the Japanese armaments industry.